Welcome back to another episode of the Adaptive Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Hotho. On today's episode, I'm talking with Dan Long. Dan is an adaptive CrossFit athlete who competes in the standing diagnosed division. Dan lives with complex regional pain syndrome, abbreviated CRPS. And this syndrome causes him to have inexplicable pain in his left leg, and it's moving up into his left arm as well. It's associated with injuries that he has that for any of us, we would just heal from those injuries, but his body doesn't seem to turn off those pain receptors when he has an injury. We talk about what it's like to live with CRPS, to train with CRPS, and what it's like to try and be an adaptive athlete looking for sponsorships when you have an invisible disability. Spoiler alert, it's not easy. Check it out. Welcome back to another episode of the Adaptive Athlete Podcast. I'm here today with Dan Long. Dan, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, how you doing? You all right?
Good, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Excited to be on, to be honest. Been listening, and some of the interviews have been really good.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks so much for the encouragement. I'm loving doing this for the community, getting to lift up other voices, connect people. I'm finding that there's a whole lot of people that I didn't know. I used to know a bunch of neuro athletes and meeting seated athletes, but then also meeting athletes like yourself. And we'll get into this a little bit later in the podcast, but people with what we would think of as invisible disabilities. It's so huge to hear from people and gain more awareness about what people live with that you don't see.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone has things going on, and a lot of the time people can't see those things because they just get on with it.
Yeah.
And that's just essentially what we all do. We just get on with the problems we have. And that's what makes adaptive athletes so impressive. We've all got loads going on, but we keep working through it.
Yeah, and I think hearing the stories gives us a lot of empathy because we go, okay, my story isn't exactly like yours, Dan, but my goodness, you expanded my horizons for what people go through. And that broadens my horizons that, oh yeah, everybody around me is fighting something. Tell me a little bit about your story. So you were active as a kid doing rugby, that kind of stuff, but at some point in the last few years, something happened.
Yeah, so I played a lot of rugby as a kid, lots and lots, played at quite a good level. And I wanted to be a professional rugby player, but again, like most people, injuries get in the way of that sort of thing. So I ended up joining the British Army, and I joined the Royal Engineers Regiment. And I completed my phase 1 and 2 training, and then I went to my first unit, which was 2-4 Commando. And at that unit, you have to do your all arms commando course. And in the process of doing that course, I got injured on it and developed complex regional pain syndrome in my left foot and ankle. And then, unfortunately, I ended up being medically discharged from the army because of it. But basically, it's a chronic pain condition. My nervous system has just gone haywire, and it causes, I get physical symptoms with it. But
so it's like no, it's okay. So it's like your body, this injury happens and your body goes, hey, that hurt. But then it never comes back around to going, okay, but we're better now, right? It constantly continues to send this message of something's painful here.
Yeah, pretty much. It feels like I've got a broken ankle constantly.
Even though through an MRI and an X-ray, it's not broken.
I've had MRIs, I've had X-rays. Structurally, my ankle is fine. But yeah, it's just, it hurts it hurts more than a broken ankle now. I get burning pains up my leg and my foot is it's blue.
Really?
It basically,
wow.
it looks dead. It looks like it doesn't have any oxygen to it.
And does it have oxygen to it? I mean, if a doctor were to look at
it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a machine that tests it because the doctor was like, we need to just make sure there is still oxygen getting to it. So I check it, got to check it every day. And yeah, it does have oxygen, but it's just goes blue. Like I get like a sweaty leg, just that bit of the leg just sweats. And it's just, my body is essentially disassociating the limb from the brain, because it's causing me pain. So it's just trying to get rid of it.
And yet it's still like maintaining it by sending it oxygen, blood flow, all that kind of thing, which is so confusing. Like the word weird just slipped out of my mouth kind of quietly because I was like, oh man, that sounds glib. And it would also sound glib to almost say like, it's like there's a bug in the software. Like at some point something happened and it got buggy between your brain and the way it handles pain.
Yeah, that's literally what people describe it as. Like it just goes haywire, and then there's no way of fixing it. So there's no cure for it. They don't know why people get it, and they don't know how to cure it. All they know is that it comes from a trauma. So the trauma I had is I hurt my ankle on an exercise at work, and then from that trauma, it then developed into this condition.
Yeah. So I noticed, like, if anybody watches you compete or watches your videos, you wear a brace on your left foot and ankle and shin. Is that to keep that foot from moving? Do you have ankle flexion there, or?
So I physically can't move my ankle myself, but it does move. But it hurts when it moves. It causes me excruciating pain. So the brace basically just keeps it in a position where it doesn't move as much. Like it still moves slightly, but it stops it quite a bit. Okay.
And this, you said it at the beginning, but this is complex regional pain syndrome, and it's abbreviated CRPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there other athletes in the adaptive space that compete with CRPS?
Yeah, there is. Faith Fordham, she competes with CRPS, and I'm sure there are a few others, but Faith's the one I know most.
Okay.
But yeah, again, we just get on with it.
Right. And we were kind of saying that a little bit before we started recording, this idea that with invisible disabilities, so often it's like, hey man, you just got to keep moving and do it, especially when there's no easy solution. Right. Yeah. Which I guess brings us to something that we were talking about before we went live, which is one solution that you're looking at. Do you want to share that with us? Kind of what you might think about doing to deal with this pain?
Yeah. So basically I've had a few trial surgeries. So they're called spinal cord stimulators, and it's essentially like a spinal block. So people with back pain get it quite a lot. But with people with CRPS, they attach it to the nerves that connect to the limb.
Okay.
So I've had 2 trials of that, and it didn't relieve my pain. So the next option is I want my lower left leg amputated. And there's no saying that it will completely get rid of my pain. But I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to take that leap, and because I'd rather it might help. Do you know what I mean? Like it might help me. I'm at the point where it causes me so much trouble, and like I walk with a walking stick. I can't run. I can't do things I used to do. Whereas if I had a prosthetic, I'd walk better with a prosthetic. So there's a lot of hoops I'm gonna have to jump through to get it done. But that's what I want done.
And that's a huge mentality thing to kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, because this is irreversible. I mean, but it's like, but it's also if it can make the pain go away, it makes sense, right? To do that.
Yeah. I think unless you live in this much pain, like it's quite hard to understand. So yeah, I live it every day.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for something to try and make that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, hopefully it does, but there's also the chance that it might not.
Yeah. Yeah. But that empathy that I'm starting to feel within myself towards you, of the sense of, hey, this is really painful and I live with it every day. I think so often when we as adaptive athletes deal with medical professionals, especially with neurological conditions, and we try to say, hey, this really hurts. And they go, yeah, but like, does it really hurt? And you're like, yeah, no, it really hurts.
Yeah. A lot of people think, oh, it's just in your head. And it's like, it's not just in your head.
Yeah.
And it is soul destroying when people say that, because it's like, if it was in my head, I'd turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
So there must be something going on there for it to be happening.
Well, and you've shared how it's like spreading to other parts of your left side that get injured.
Yeah. So I got an infection from a callus that ripped on my finger. And then from that callus, I then developed it in my left arm, my left hand and left arm as well.
Wow.
But it just comes with other symptoms as well, like involuntary muscle contractions, which when that happens, it writes me off. Like, I can't move. And it happens quite a bit. But
and then you have to manage. Oh, go ahead.
A lot of the time it happens at rest. So it's like, oh, I'm just sitting down to chill out. And then, oh, there we go. Involuntary muscle contraction. And then you're just going back to being in excruciating pain again. Mm-hmm. It's just relentless.
Mm. So when you train with this, what do you have to do to train around this, to train through this? What does that look like for you?
So I am quite heavily medicated with it. So I'm on a lot of neuromodulators. They don't really touch my pain. But the medical professionals say that they help. So, I mean, I take them because they know what they're talking about. So I take them for like during the day. So it makes life a little bit easier. So I train probably for about 2 hours a day, and I train in the morning. But a lot of the time when I train, I try and take as much weight as possible off my left leg. So when I do box jumps, I do it single leg. I do everything on my right leg. Double unders, do it on my right leg. And if I'm having a really bad day, I might box squat instead of normal squat, mm-hmm. which happens quite a lot at the minute. So I have to box squat quite a lot. But Olympic lifting is quite hard to take that weight off the leg.
Yeah.
So I just have to get on with it and lift. And when I snatch, I put most of the weight through my right leg, but my left leg is there to sort of stabilize me, mm-hmm. so I don't fall over. But it just hurts. But
so do you have a coach?
Yeah, I'm coached by Owen Jones. Okay. He owns Black Dog Fitness.
Okay. And what has he learned kind of as he's been coaching you through this? Like, what are some ways that you guys have learned to work around the CRPS?
So a lot of the time he's like, right, if we can do it, we can do it. And if we can't do it, we'll work around that. So like, for example, double unders, when I've been really working hard on my double unders, because I've been struggling for the past 2 years, I've been struggling with them, and we've had a real push on how we do them. So when I do it single leg, like a lot of the time, you're not meant to like raise your knee up, mm-hmm. when you do a double under. But because I have to do it on that single leg, he was like, you need to raise your knee up to give yourself more time to get the rope through, because jumping on one leg, you're physically not going to jump higher than you would on two legs. So we worked really hard on like adapting to how it works for me, rather than what the textbook coaching protocol is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's been really good. So we go through, I send him all my training and he goes through it and he'll give me tips on how to do things like for example, when I handstand push up, I wasn't my way my wrists were, my hands were like pointing straight to the wall. And with my arm, instead of out. And with my arm, I couldn't push as well as I could with my other arm. So I was going like one arm was going up and the other arm just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to completely turn my hands right out and then push that arm out slightly more than the other arm. So I wasn't pushing as far with that arm, basically. And it's just like little things like that. We're working around how my body works because it was working differently to someone able-bodied.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Kind of reminds me of like, you know, when you were talking about snatching, kind of how you put more of your weight in your left leg or your right leg and you kind of kick that left leg out to support you. Similar thing in that handstand push-up where you're kind of alternating that position of that one hand to find balance. Because I also saw you handstand walk too, right? Like obviously that comes up in your competing and your training.
Yeah. So again, handstand walking is like some days it can be good if my arm's feeling all right, and then some days it might not be as good if I can't put the weight through it.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's the hard thing. Some days it could be worse than others. Like I might have a good day where I can handstand walk 100 foot, but then the next day I can't do 2 foot. So
do you find that you have to like hold yourself back during training, but know that you have it when you compete?
Yeah.
We did a workout at my gym that we were testing that I was going to be doing at a local comp, and it was like max wall balls, some buy-in and then max wall balls in remaining time. And I stopped with 15 seconds left. And my coach said, "Why'd you stop?" And I said, "Because if I'd kept going, I would have been able to train tomorrow. Like I wouldn't have been able to really give it even for the second half of the class, but I would have been out for the rest of the week, diminished for the rest of the week if I'd done that."
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, but you're going to do that during the comp, right?" And I was like, 100%. And I won the event during the comp, you know, like, and had to be carried off the floor. Right. And it was like, but I think sometimes there's that tension that we have to manage between our training and going, okay, I'm hitting 90% so that I can come in tomorrow and keep hitting something. And then when we do something like the games, it's like, okay,
that's when you go all in.
You got to go. Yeah. Tell me about an experience where you've had that.
Yeah. So, for me, it happens quite often. So I love Olympic lifting. I love my cleans and I love my snatches. Don't love jerks as much just because I'm a little bit weaker overhead and I can't split jerk. But a lot of the time with my cleans, I'm like, I build to a heavy 1 rep, for example. And I'm like, oh, this is feeling really good today. Feeling really good. And then I get to a point where I'm like, I need to slow down. I need to stop what I'm doing because I need to think about the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So I might be able to hit 125 kilo clean, but actually I need to pull myself back because if I do that one lift might ruin a whole week's worth of training. So it's just, I need to be quite smart with it. But again, I'm constantly messaging my coach, like different things to say, what can I do today instead of doing that? Because I can't do that today. So if my leg is feeling really bad, but my upper body is feeling all right, we might do more upper body gymnastics. And he's really good because he just changes it on the fly for me. So whereas most people just get on with their session, for me, he just changes it there and then. He's like, right, we'll do this instead.
Yeah, I think that's one of the amazing things about coaches that are aware of adaptive athletes and are able to realize that they're not scaling for the athlete, they're adapting for the athlete so that the athlete can continue hitting their goals, doing what they want to do, and the intensity isn't falling off. It's just the intensity is moving to a different part of the body so that the body doesn't fall apart.
Yeah, definitely. It happens quite a lot, but yeah, it's just, it's quite hard.
Let's go to the 2020. Let's go to the 2024 games, right? So we're in San Antonio, day one. We're outdoors, and that was all the running, right?
Yeah.
It was for you guys row ski and then run, and then into the sandbag carry run. I assume probably for you, both of those events were damage control in some way. I don't mean to be glib, but because of your situation with running.
I didn't realize if you came last in the event that you got 0 points. So I put a lot of effort in both those events.
Okay.
Because I thought I would have got something out of finishing the event.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So,
okay.
Looking back on it, I might have eased back a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I sent that first one because the rower and the ski I'm all right at.
Mm-hmm.
I just, again, do it all with my right leg. But the run, doing that mile on crutches, that was my first inkling of crutch running, basically. I hadn't done any running leading up to it at all.
Wow.
So, I just did it. And I finished it because I thought I would have got something from finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But I was still happy I finished it.
Yeah.
Because even just for my own, like, being proud of myself, I was proud that I finished that event.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the one I was worried about most.
Oh, for sure. And they put it right at the beginning. Let's just put all your anxieties right out there in front of you.
Yeah. But I didn't come off the row and ski last. So,
okay.
I mean, I didn't come last in the first two. So I just came last in the run. But unfortunately wasn't scored separately. But
mm-hmm. And then what was another event at those 2024 games that really stood out to you?
So the max clean.
Yeah.
That was my favorite event. Again, I just love a heavy barbell, and I worked really hard on my clean. So when that event got announced, I was very happy it got announced. So I think I came joint second in that event, which I was really happy with, and that was the first event of the second day, I think.
Yes, it was, because they moved stuff around. Yeah, because they had something come up, and
which made me feel a little bit more confident going into the rest of them.
Oh, nice.
So, like the first day was a bit. I was proud that I finished the two events, but I was still, because I'm competitive, I wasn't happy I was last.
Mm-hmm.
After day one. But then when I came into that third event, and I hit that I think it was 255 clean.
It was.
Yeah, I hit that, and I was so happy because that was a PB clean.
That's great, man. To do it on a competition floor.
Yeah, and I've never experienced that. Being in that arena on that first event, that was my first CrossFit competition, basically. That live competition I'd ever done.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I hit it, and I was so happy. And being in front of the crowd just makes such a difference.
Mm-hmm. The lights, the announcers, it was
just like it gives you that extra bit that you need to lift. So I think I failed the second rep, but because it was quite funny, because a lot of the English athletes, we were struggling with the conversions. So I said to my judge I wanted this amount of weight on it for the second rep, and I went to go pick it up, and he's like, that's 10 pounds more than you said you wanted on it. And I was like, oh, do you know what, I'll just try and lift it. So I lifted it, failed that rep.
Okay.
And then I was like, nah, I will lift this.
Okay.
So I went in for the final lift and managed to hit it. And yeah, I was so happy I hit it.
That's awesome. That's a good story, man. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I saw a bunch of people struggling with the conversions. I do not envy you guys on that. I'll have to.
Yeah, loads of us were.
Yeah, I'll have to go do a competition in Europe sometime so I can feel it from the other way.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest,
what am I doing here?
You just. I was looking at the color of the plates.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, do you know what? It probably helped that I didn't know the weight, that I just lifted it. So
well, because the bars were also shorties, so the bars were
Yeah.
15 kilo bars
yeah,
instead of 20 kilo bars.
yeah, that didn't help either.
Yeah.
That really didn't help.
And that's probably how you got the 10 pounds off.
Yeah,
That is exactly. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
total sense. Wow. Hey, man, shorty bars bringing you PRs all the time.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
They did feel a lot heavier though, lifting with those bars.
Yeah. What is that?
I just don't think there was any whip on it because there was
Okay.
because they're short, you don't get any whip on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the longer ones, you get a little bit of spring that helps you
Get up out of the hole and
Yeah,
Did you squat clean that rep?
yeah,
Okay. Wow.
yeah. There was no way that was going to be a power.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure in terms of the hip and the ability to kind of get to that receiving position, if that's impacted for you.
Yeah, so it's like I can get in that position. It just causes me a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So
And by trouble, you mean pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Basically.
crazy though, to think that like this moment that we're talking about that is like, really cool is also like, and it hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great moment, but I think I had to go back to the Airbnb and just lay down for 2 hours because it sort of wrote me off for a bit. But yeah.
Wow. So 2025 games, you're registered? Are you coming back?
Yeah. Registered.
Awesome.
Ready to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah. Is there anything you're looking forward to in particular?
To be honest, I've not really thought about it that much. I've been really focused on training at the minute.
Okay.
I registered and I'm trying not to think too far ahead because we still got some time, and I'm quite zoned in on my training at the minute. And there's a lot of things that I'm still need to work on. So I'm trying not to think too far ahead at the minute.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, then I won't take you far ahead. We'll pull back.
Yeah.
So something else that I noticed when I was Googling you is you worked with you put yourself out there to find sponsors. You went looking for sponsors. Tell me about that a little bit, because I think sponsorships for adaptive athletes seem hard to come by. Like sharing your story, making it connect with a brand and making that brand want to donate any kind of money or product or anything like that towards your endeavors.
Yeah, I think it's not been easy to get sponsors. So currently I work with a clothing brand called Into Gymwear.
Okay.
And like the guy who runs that he's a great guy, and it's run by him and his wife, and they reached out to me and basically said, we want to help you. And they've been so good to me. They've helped me, like they give me training gear and everything. And I think like that's the form of sponsorship I get currently. I don't get like paid sponsorship.
Okay.
But things like that make a massive difference, because having to pay for that as well as like paying for your gym membership and things like that, it just takes that pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
One thing.
How did you find that connection?
Just through Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, through Instagram. But I think a lot of it is, which is understandable, brands want something from you, which is, it's completely understandable. So you've got to have that following behind you for a brand to then really work with you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not easy. I think currently a lot of brands don't really think about adaptive athletes, where there's a huge market of people who they could also sell to and things like that. And getting people like us, adaptive athletes, in the limelight and showing everyone what we do and how we do it and the struggles we all face every single day.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
And going full circle back to the invisible disability stuff that we started with, like having a sponsor who's willing to do the longer form content, or even just the 90-second to 2-minute form content for you to explain what your impairment is. And yeah, you use this brace, but there's so much more to it than the brace. It's the pain, it's the mentality, it's the recovery, it's all of that. Yeah.
It's like people look at me and I don't look disabled. Like, I walk with a walking stick and I wear a brace, but because I don't look disabled, they just assume.
Yeah. Which, like, oh, maybe it's just a temporary injury, or oh, maybe he tweaked his ankle, like I did when I met you at the 2024 games.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, oh, bummer, this guy injured his foot right before the games. This is awful.
Yeah. And like, that's what people say to me. They're like, oh, what have you done to your foot? And they're like, oh, is it a rugby injury? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I've got a neurological condition. And then you tell them a bit more about it, and then they sort of like, oh, probably shouldn't have asked. Because
right.
You tell them how bad it actually is.
And then they're like, oh.
Yeah. And then they don't know what to say. But like, you've got to tell them how it is, else people won't realize about these things. They don't understand.
They won't realize they exist.
Yeah. So you have to tell them exactly what it is for them to actually go, oh, wow, that's not great.
Yep, exactly. That's not great. Yeah.
Because they don't know what we feel like. They don't know how it feels to be us. It's just, they just get, the first thing they see is us. And if you walk normally, you don't have a brace or anything, people will just think you're completely able-bodied, and they don't understand what is going on deeper down within your body.
Yep, 100%. Can we do a quick lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So if you had control, I'm just going right with my favorite question. If you had control of the Spotify playlist in your gym every week, what would you be playing?
Last Resort by, I don't even know the band.
This is no breathing.
Papa Roach, that's it. Yeah.
I love it. You know, that was when that song came out. It was like when TRL was a thing and MTV Jock Jams and music videos were more prominent everywhere. Yeah. And I distinctly remember that music video. Yeah. Nice one.
Every time I do a heavy lift, I put that song on repeat, and I just
you're just like, we're going again.
Yeah.
And again.
I know. Just rewind it, start it from the beginning, and go again.
I love it. We were when we were competing for the 2024 semis, I think it was right around the time Euphoria came out by Kendrick Lamar, kind of when the whole Kendrick and Drake diss beef was going on. And I tried to use it as my superpower for one workout, and it kind of worked. Like, it kind of gave me that thing to kind of get a big back squat in. And then my friend put it on for a second workout when I was just like suffering in the workout, and the workout didn't end well. And I was like, you ruined that song for me, man. We can't use Euphoria anymore. It's not,
you can't ever use it.
I can't ever use it. So I hope for you that Papa Roach's Last Resort continues to deliver for you.
Yeah. I mean, even if I fail it, it's still my go-to. I'll go again.
There you go.
Wait 5 minutes to do it again.
I love it. Let's see. Is there a goal outside of fitness that you're currently working towards?
So I want to basically become an adaptive qualified trainer. And in my area, there's no one like that where I live.
Okay.
So I feel like I can bring a lot to disabled people within where I live, basically, because there's a lot of people around who would get into fitness and things like that, but don't, because no one offers it. So I've built a gym in my garage, and basically I've started training athletes in my garage, and like I've started working with one girl in a wheelchair. So like I've got one adaptive athlete already, and she's even going to sign up for the Open next year. And
wow.
I just want to use CrossFit to show people that no matter what is wrong with you and what disability you've got, you can still do things, because we don't scale it. We adapt it to what your body can do.
Are there resources for you in getting that kind of training and stuff like that in the UK? I know there's Adapt Aon.
Yeah, there is actually a certification you can now get in the UK, which has it's got like an exam board. So I'm looking at doing that course, and then I've got the course behind me, and then I can really like push that, working with adaptive athletes.
So after you've hit that PR while listening to Last Resort by Papa Roach, how are you treating yourself? What's your cheat food? What's your cheat food?
Probably pizza.
Okay.
Probably pizza.
Anything special on it?
Chicken and mushroom.
Chicken and mushroom. Okay.
Yeah, quite basic, but you can't go wrong.
Wait. A chicken and mushroom pizza is a basic pizza? I got to know what a more advanced pizza is.
I mean, you could have pineapple on it, but
now we're starting something. Now we're going to have people commenting. Yeah. You know, we're going to start like a whole we're going to get comments on this post. Pineapple on pizza? Absolutely not. No.
I'm just saying I would never have pineapple on pizza, but you could have it.
You could if you wanted to. That would be an advanced pizza.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. One more question for you. What's your favorite way to spend a rest day?
My wife just piped up in the background and said with her.
Aw, come on now. Those are the best rest days.
I mean, it would be with her. But yeah, take the dog for a walk, get a bit of sun. Not that it's sunny here a lot, but when it is, it's nice. And yeah, just chill out really, because I don't really spend time chilling out enough.
Yeah. Was your wife at the 2024 games?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Martha.
Is she in earshot?
Yeah, Martha, can you hear?
I can.
Yeah.
Hey, Martha, at the 2024 games, what was the moment where you were most proud of Dan?
Probably see him finish the mile walk. Because he didn't stop, he just kept going.
Yeah. What's one way that you encourage him?
I think just be the biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can always hear her.
People on YouTube could hear me.
Yeah.
I love that. Thanks for being on the podcast, Martha.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our partners are some of our best advocates and friends, and it's just really cool to hear how excited she was for you.
I mean, she allows me to basically train the way I train. Like, she gives me that opportunity to be able to train the way I do. And like, she's always there supporting me whenever I need anything. She helps me. She does all my food. She's great.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right. As we get ready to wrap up, 2 final questions. What's one thing you would say to encourage an adaptive athlete that wants to try this whole thing out?
I think just start it. I think the hardest bit is starting it. And then once you can do it, or once you see that you can start to do things, then your confidence builds.
Yeah. And then if you could go back and encourage yourself from 2 years ago, when you first got this diagnosis, knowing what you know now, knowing what you've been able to accomplish now, what would you tell him?
It will get better. It was quite hard back then. I struggled to accept what was going on. But I think it would be it does get better.
Mm-hmm. That's great, Dan. Hey man, thanks so much for being on the podcast. This was a great conversation. I so enjoyed getting to know you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And we'll be seeing each other in Vegas.
Yeah, see you there.
Let's go. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
See you later. Cheers.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. Dan talked in the podcast about how he's been trying to find sponsors and how he found a sponsor. But, I think this is relevant to a conversation that was actually happening earlier this week in the adaptive CrossFit space. Wheelwad posted a video talking about how adaptive athletes could potentially be part of the future of adaptive CrossFit by building themselves into brands or doing a better job of getting marketing, of doing the work of getting sponsorships and what that would look like. And I think that conversation has a lot of nuance to it. I mean, it's not an even playing field for every adaptive athlete to go out there and get sponsorships. Case in point, with an invisible disability, it's hard to articulate to a sponsor what it's like. And it's hard to even show that through photos, through videos, through reels, what it looks like to be an adaptive athlete, to build that following. I'm not saying that other people have it easier or harder. I'm just saying it's a nuanced conversation. And this podcast is a place where we want to have those nuanced conversations. So if you're somebody who's in the marketing space or have thoughts about adaptive athletes and how they can get sponsorships and how they can do a better job of building their own brands, while also for many of them managing family and careers and their own self-care and their own health care. And for many of us, right? Dealing with what it's like to live with chronic disorders, which sometimes sap our energy and our strength and make it harder for us to do the things that able-bodied athletes can do when they're building brands that they want to build. If you have thoughts on that and you want to help this community out, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me on Instagram at the Adaptive Athlete Pod. And I'd love to talk to you, maybe get you on the show to talk about this a little bit more and to keep this conversation going about what it's like to build an adaptive community that can actually provide some amount of sponsorship, clout for adaptive athletes so that they can grow the sport and so that adaptive athletics can be seen as something that is worth getting into and pouring time into and building a brand within. So thanks so much for coming to my little TED Talk at the end of this podcast, but I think this is an important conversation to have, and Dan's episode highlighted that, and our interview highlighted that as well. So thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. I'm Matt Hotho, and I'll see you guys next time.